Edward told me. James told Edward, and they heard all about it from Thomas.
When Thomas arrived at Abbey Station, Sir Topham Hatt was there. "Thomas, you must warn all engines not to cross the bridge until it's repaired," he boomed. Thomas felt proud. It was a very useful job. Just then he heard a whistle. Someone was coming. Thomas had to warn them. It was Neville, pulling Annie and Clarabelle. Thomas was shocked. Annie and Clarabelle were his carriages.
Hello,
puffed Neville cheerfully. "I'm not talking to you," Thomas huffed crossly. Neville didn't know what he had done. Then Emily pulled in next to Neville. "Hello," said Neville happily. Emily let out a whoosh of steam. "It's no use trying to make friends with me. I know you're going to biff into all the steamies, just like Harry and Bert told you to." Thomas was surprised, but the station master blew his whistle, and Neville puffed sadly away. "Where did you hear that Neville is going to biff into all the steamies?" Thomas asked Emily. "Don't you know?" Emily whistled. "Percy told me, Edward told Percy, James told Edward, and you told James," huffed Emily. "But I only said to James that I'd seen Neville with Harry and Bert." Then Toby arrived.
have you heard about Neville, the new engine? He puffed. Henry saw Harry and Bert be horrible to him at the yards.
Emily was shocked. Thomas couldn't believe it. Neville wasn't friends with the Diesels after all. "Where was Neville going?" Emily tooted. "Cinders and ashes!" cried Thomas. "Neville's heading for the broken bridge. I must stop him!" Neville was speeding through the countryside as fast as he could. Suddenly, Neville saw a barrier on the track. He slammed on his brakes, but it was too late. Neville was in terrible trouble. He was on the broken end of the bridge. Thomas knew it was all his fault. Suddenly, he had an idea. Thomas steamed slowly and carefully onto the bridge. He gently bumped Clarabelle and was coupled up. Thomas was very scared. Slowly and steadily, he began to pull Neville back from the edge. The bridge made a creaking noise. Thomas knew he must hurry. He pulled as hard as he could, and with one big puff, he pulled Neville's wheels off the bridge. Thomas had done it. He had saved Neville and Annie and Clarabelle. "Thank you," whistled Neville. "I should have warned you," puffed Thomas, "but I was too busy believing silly stories. I thought you didn't like steamies, but now I know I was wrong." Thomas gave Neville a long, friendly toot-toot. Neville was very happy. At last, he knew he had a good friend in Thomas. Thomas and the Statue. Winter was coming to the island of Sodor. The leaves had fallen from the trees, and fog rolled over the countryside. One chilly morning, Sir Topham Hatt came to Tidmouth Sheds. He had a special announcement to make. "A statue is to be put up at Peel Station," he said. "It will celebrate the Sodor Railway." The engines were very excited. Thomas was to collect the statue from Brendam Docks. "I wonder what it will be," peeped Percy. "As soon as I find out," puffed Thomas, "I'll come back and tell you." And he steamed away. But when Thomas arrived at the docks, Cranky was still unloading the statue. "Hurry up, Cranky," said Thomas. "I want to be the first to see it." Frankie didn't like being rushed.
Why are you so excited to see the statue? You think it's going to be of you?
He scoffed. Thomas didn't say anything. He was too busy watching the workmen open the crate. The statue was covered by a large waterproof sheet. It had a very familiar look. There was a tall funnel shape at the front, and then a wide shape at the back. The shape was just like Thomas's shape. Suddenly, Thomas was very excited. Perhaps, he whistled, it really could be of me. That night, Thomas couldn't wait to tell the other engines about his statue. But when he arrived at the sheds, all the engines were asleep. Thomas was too excited to sleep. He beeped his whistle to wake Percy up. Percy, Percy, I think the statue is of me, boasted Thomas. Really, Thomas? Yawned Percy. That's nice. It will be wonderful to have my very own statue, tooted Thomas. He couldn't wait for morning to come. The following day, Sir Topham Hatt told the engines they were to go to the washdown. All except Thomas. He was to collect more things for the statue. First, Thomas went to Wellworth Station. He was to collect a special block for the statue to stand on. Are you looking forward to seeing my statue? He called to Edward.
It might not be your statue, huffed Edward.
But Thomas wasn't listening.